Welcome to the Bud's Beer Blurb podcast. We can be heard on YouTube, Spotify, RSS.com, and many other host sites. Just check our Instagram or Facebook bios to find our link tree, which will guide you to all of our listening sites. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook for the latest updates, behind-the-scenes content, and more. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for our most in-depth content.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 16 of our podcast. We have a really great show for you this time. Chris DeGasero of Dead Language Brewing Company in Hartford, Connecticut came to the studio, and we talked about his beers, of course, and then I got to taste some of his beers. And let me tell you, this is someone who really knows what he's talking about, and you can hear it in the conversation we had, and you can really taste it in his beers. Nick and I have two new beer reviews for you. I picked up Rye 95 by Two Roads, and Nick brought us Pineapple Upside Down Cake. Yeah. Luckily, it's by Abomination Brewing, so it just might be good. All that is coming right up, and we'll get it started with the brew reviews.
So, we're in the studio again, and hey, it's great to have Nick back, because you were on the last episode, dude.
It's great to be back. It's been calling my name for a while now.
He said that he's just looking at his shirt on a hanger. Was it calling you or something?
Yeah, the Green Goblin mask.
Oh, God. Where are you? Yeah, but, great to have you back in the studio, brother. We have beer here. Oh, and in the background, you might hear a little voice, because Nick has his daughter here. She's actually upstairs, and yet
her voice travels like no one's business.
My son Josh has got her, but yeah. Or does she have him? Yeah, he's probably handcuffed by now.
Yeah, there's no way out. He's done.
Yeah, his daughter is a great kid, but boy, she's got a
force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, she's got a lot of energy. So the beer we have is Rye 95 by Two Roads. This beer has a ABV of 9.5, and I'm going to read the description about it from the Two Roads website. It says, a Two Roads classic. Rye 95 is our take on the classic Belgian triple, featuring rye for a spice, dry character, complemented by American hops. They don't really go into any detail there. America. But that add a fruity, of course, fruity white wine-like aroma. A Belgian yeast strain brings notes of pear and clove, and there's your daughter, creating a rich, complex experience. And this is a limited time beer, so I'm so glad I found it.
I'm extremely excited for this one.
Obviously, Two Roads is a massive brewery for Connecticut, and
for good reason, honestly.
Absolutely. So we're just going to go right into tasting this bad boy. You ready?
Yes, I am.
All right. Let's crack it open. Nice. Okay. Well, let's grab the nose. We're looking for some bready.
Well, yeah. Nice. It smells champagne to me, I know.
Dude, you need a rag?
I do need a rag, apparently.
You seriously need a rag.
I've been out for a while. What do you expect?
Oh, you're out of practice pouring beer? Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, here we go.
Take two.
Oh, yeah. That's nice and sweet. I agree. I like that white wine aroma.
It smells incredible.
Oh, that is beautiful.
I can smell the pear. Well, that sweet white wine is what's coming through to me. And it smells extremely good.
That's prevalent. So, hey, let's go right into giving this a taste. Oh, wow.
That's a Belgian.
Oh, yeah.
Through and through.
Definitely. That's
it's good.
It's interesting they say fruity. Yeah, I'm picking up a little bit of that.
Yes.
And not like citrus, though.
No.
Yeah, like you said, a pear.
Yep. I'm just glad we're doing this in video, and I poured it on myself immediately.
Yep. There's a little slight dank at the back of the throat. But boy, this is sweet.
Not too much, though.
No.
Not too much at all.
No.
So it's a very nice balance of that sweet up front, dank back.
Mm-hmm. A little bit of a bready taste to it also. I'm looking at this thing, just wow. It's beautiful color. It's tasty.
It's a nice amber. Very, very nice amber color.
See, I love Belgian beers.
Yeah, that's...
I love Belgian beers.
This is a Belgian through and through, 100%.
I'm just going to top it off. But...
I'm going to top my leg off, hold on.
I've had a lot of Belgians in my time, and there was one Belgian in particular that I truly loved a lot, and it was from a brewery that is no longer with us, but that right now is my standard of tasting every other Belgian.
You've been spoiled.
Right? And as good as this is, I'm going to go 3.5.
So, with all the cacophony in the background of me right now,
yeah,
I'm right there with you. 3.5. This is fantastic. Don't get me wrong.
Absolutely.
I'd be able to kill a whole 4-pack in an hour and wake up 3 later somewhere else.
That 9.5 is still. I can taste it, but it's not overbearing.
No, and it's you and I like to taste the alcohol, so it's not like get sucker punch with every sip.
Exactly.
So it's pleasant.
But a 4-pack of these would be dangerous.
Oh yeah. That's why we split them.
All right. Hey, we'll be right back. We're going to go on to another beer, and right after this.
Remember how your parents would say, "Don't be fresh"?
Don't be fresh!
When it comes to beer, it's simple. The fresher the better. Sorry, Ma. At Growler Power, we realize there's nothing better than a fresh sip straight from the tap.
I tap that.
Tapped in 5, 4,
3, 2, 1.
How about pouring your favorite drink fresh from the tap every time?
Yeah, that's me. The portable kegerator you take with you pretty much everywhere you go.
From the beach to a barbecue to a bonfire to the pool, the playing pool, the gaming hard to the game-winning goal, the talking trash, taking out the trash. I mean, you get it. You can basically take it with you anywhere.
Keep carbonation in and oxygen out, and no matter what your ma says, keep it fresh.
Okay, we're back. Now, Nick has brought us a beer. What did you bring us, Nick?
So, as always, I brought something that is completely normal, nothing weird, no strings attached here.
Time out. I'm sorry. You brought pineapple upside down cake.
Yeah, that's normal. Everyone drinks that.
Sounds real normal.
This is from Abomination, which, honestly, fantastic. I've had stuff like this from them that I was like, this is going to be a little weird, but...
Yeah, we've never had a bad beer from Abomination.
It's been pleasantly surprised. Drippy Popsicle was one of them. So, this is an Imperial Brown Ale with pineapple, brown sugar, vanilla beans, and cake. Definitely completely normal, as always.
You gotta wonder, how did they put cake in it? Like, did they pour cake mix? Or just throw some cake in?
Very carefully.
That's really weird. And it's called Sticky Oven.
Yep, Sticky Oven.
And you said the ABV was what?
The ABV is 8%. I don't believe I mentioned that yet, so it's still a pretty good number there.
Okay, and we just got done with a 9.5.
Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll just be walking sideways.
It's an early afternoon in the studio, man.
Sounds like a good day to me.
All right, well, then shall we crack this one open?
Yeah, let's see what the nose says.
All right. Nice. Okay. Oh, this is dark. Holy cow, that's dark. I did not... Dude, are you serious? Hold on. All right. You ripped the tab off the top of the can.
I am on my absolute A game today.
Yeah, you had a 9.5 and now you can't open a can.
I was doing that before 9.5.
All right, hang on. This is really, really dark. I'll hold it up for the camera in a minute, but...
Yeah, let me...
This is like a porter or...
Yeah, that is...
Your daughter's still in the background, too.
Oh, yeah, she's...
Wow, that does smell decent, though.
It does smell these. I'm just admiring... Oh, my...
I cannot believe how
I'm going to stop pouring for just a second. I can't see a single thing through that.
No. Okay, so look how dark this is. I mean, for those of you who are watching this instead of just listening, this is as dark as a stout for those who are listening.
Yeah, so I'm holding it up. My hand's behind. There's no clarity. You can't see anything behind this.
Yeah, get to the mic. Get to the mic.
No,
that's insane. And this is they're calling this a what?
A brown ale.
Oh, yeah, okay. Wow, that's beautiful, though. That's a beautiful color. And
I'm not...
I mean, come on. It smells like a stout.
It does smell like a stout.
There's coffee.
Let's say I'm picking up the coffee. I'm not really smelling the vanilla right now. I mean, it is sweet, so maybe that's where that comes through. You smell cake.
No, I don't smell cake. I don't smell pineapple.
No. Brown sugar, yeah, I'm picking that up a little bit here.
That's sweet, Yep. Interesting. And, okay, the vanilla.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, hey, let's...
Yeah, I got to dig deep with the vanilla.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's give it a taste. So that was totally your daughter. Wow. Okay, to me, this is a vanilla stout.
Yeah, that's...
I mean, I understand it's not, but it tastes like a vanilla stout.
The scent definitely betrays the taste.
Yeah. That's, it's not bad, though, honestly.
No.
It's very sweet.
Very sweet. For something this dark, that sweetness is just...
Yeah. So the vanilla is very present. There's notes of coffee, but not very strong. It's
I am tasting the cake.
Are you? Like
I am tasting the cake. It just...
Like a yellow cake?
Not just a regular.
Are you catching pineapple?
That I'm not getting yet.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to find right now is... I mean, it's pineapple upside down cake. You would think that the pineapple would be like forward.
No, it's. I can taste the brown sugar. I can definitely taste 100%.
Okay.
The pineapple. The more I'm drinking of it, the sweetness of that is settling in the front of my mouth.
It's starting to come through. I'm starting to grab it now. It's funny because at first it definitely did not present it, but when you start thinking about it, yeah, you can grab it. I mean, honestly, there it is. Wow.
I just swished it, too.
Yeah,
that was... If you didn't do the same, you should.
That was a lot of pineapple in that one. So the pineapple is there.
Oh, God, yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
That is. Yeah, I swished it around my mouth, and I taste a lot more now. That is an interesting...
It is exactly what they described.
Yep.
I mean, it's not my style of beer. I wouldn't, run out and buy this, but for what they describe it to be...
They nailed it.
They nailed it. Yeah.
They really did. I mean, this is not something I normally drink, but honestly, around a nice fire and stuff, this just... Normally that's when I go for a stout, but that kind of tickles that as well.
That's so funny. How about that?
There's no bitter in this to me.
No.
Nothing.
No. It's not even, overly dry.
No, it's a pretty good mixture of everything it says.
Yeah.
Are you tasting the cake?
I can't say I got cake. I'm not.
That's more of the aftertaste after a little while. It kind of sits in there for me.
So, you brought this beer here. So, what do you think? As I take another sip.
This is a tough one because it's...
Just go by what they described it to be.
3 3/4.
Wow.
So, for what they describe it as, it's... right there.
Yeah.
Exactly what they said it.
Yeah. I'm honestly, I'm at a 4.
I was thinking that at first.
Seriously, yeah. I mean, I'm looking at the description. I'm thinking about what they're trying to achieve. And I really think they did a good job. It's Abomination Brewing.
Yeah, again, as always, they
surprise us.
Yeah, it's the further I get down, the better it's getting. It's either that's normal with their beers or the ABV. I haven't figured that out yet.
Right? Well, I mean, again, we already put that Rye 95 down.
That's child's play. You know this.
Wow, that's tasty. I really thought I was going to hate it.
I did too.
But I'm surprised. I mean, I'm definitely going to finish this and enjoy it. So, I'm at a 4. You're at a 3 3/4.
Yes, I am.
And that's the way it is, folks.
Yep. That was Sticky Oven from Abomination Brewing.
All right. So we're in the studio right now, and I have with me Chris DeGasero from Dead Language Beer Project. and he is joining us to talk about himself, the brewery, and what's going on. Chris, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, bud.
So let's start with you. A little bit about your history. How did you get into brewing? Like home brewing, or?
Yeah, like many others, I was a home brewer at the time. This was about, I'd say, 16 years ago or so.
Mm-hmm.
I was home brewing in Queens, New York with my wife. We were both working in television at the time.
Okay.
It became one of those things where it was either keep going down a path where I knew I wasn't going to be happy in television,
Mm-hmm.
or shift gears and go down a different path. And my wife, God bless her, just kind of gave me full permission to pursue things. So started apprenticing in Manhattan, going to any place that would take me. I offered to do anything. We then later moved to West Hartford, Connecticut about 12 years ago or so. I ended up getting assistant brewing position at City Steam.
Oh, yeah.
Became head brewer at Cambridge House Brew Pub.
Okay.
Opened up Alvarium and was the head brewer there as well.
Wow.
Went to White Lion for a stint in Springfield, and then opened up Dead Language with my wife.
Wow. Now, when were you opening? I mean, what was your official opening date?
So we're at almost a year. It's March 15th will be our 1 year anniversary.
No kidding.
Which just so happens to land with the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Hartford. So it's going to be a wild time.
You call it Dead Language. What does that mean to you?
So we say that traditional beer and the culture behind it is a dying language.
Okay.
So now it's actually getting to the point where those types of beers, specifically lagers, Weiss beer, American IPAs, they're now coming to more of the forefront.
Okay.
So in a way, our name is almost becoming antiquated already, which is a good thing in a way.
Well, yeah, for beer drinkers, right? You don't follow the trends.
Exactly. I mean, we're looking at the beer culture, 5 years ago was very different.
Mm-hmm.
Beer tourism was up. That's a fantastic thing. But it became more of a, how many breweries can you hit? How many different beers can you taste?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of wacky styles can you try?
Right.
And we're trying to bring things more back to a communal atmosphere, drinking for the sake of enjoying yourself, being in a communal setting with others,
mm-hmm.
Whether that's dogs, children, what have you, just everybody in the community kind of coming together.
Okay.
And that's the whole thing that we're going for.
So you allow dogs in your brewery?
We do.
Okay. Well, that's because you don't have, like, a food service inside your brewery, correct?
Correct. Instead, we rely more on the surrounding businesses. So right next door to us, we actually share a wall with them, is Petrolhead Cafe.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing breakfast from about 9 to 3 most every day that we're open. So people can go there, get brunch, breakfast, mm-hmm. coffee, what have you.
Nice.
And then we have Parkville Market directly across the street.
Mm-hmm.
And they have so many vendors, any kind of food you can imagine. You can either walk across the street, grab it yourself, get it delivered. So we'd rather rely on the local community to support our food needs rather than take it on ourselves.
Well, that's fantastic. You're supporting other businesses by doing this also. So
exactly. And beer's our focus. So,
right, Right. And you utilize that space that you have there wonderfully. I mean, you got plenty of seating, but yet you got that big brewing area also. So that's wonderful.
Exactly.
Why beer project, not like brewing?
2 reasons. One, brewing seems a little antiquated
mm-hmm.
in terms of, you hear it over and over and over again. We wanted something that was it would strike your ears a little bit differently, let you know that we were doing something a little, against the grain,
mm-hmm.
if you will. We're looking at doing different things with beer. So lagers, Weiss beer, as different as they are in this climate right now,
mm-hmm.
They're going to become a little bit more familiar, but we're also looking at doing different things such as, tomorrow I'll be brewing a Land beer, which is a Franconian style in Germany, where it's almost like the German version of a Saison, where you're using local ingredients, local hops, local malt, and you're putting it together in a specific style. We're also doing things that, as far as I know, other breweries haven't done. So, for instance, something we're going to be working on very soon is, I'm very into British beer.
Okay.
I love to brew British beer.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit outside of our brand
mm-hmm.
right now, at least. So we figured, hey, we have a beer engine. I love, everything kind of surrounding that culture and
mm-hmm.
everything about it. Why don't we do a pub lager, from Beer Engine? Which, as far as I know, I mean, I don't want to be presumptuous, but I don't think anyone's really working on right now.
Probably not. Everyone's doing the IPAs, the fruited sours, things like that. Do you do a sour at all?
So we do a sour, insofar as what's traditional. So the only sour we have is a traditional Berliner Weisse.
Yeah.
So we're looking at, a tart wheat ale. I hesitate to even say sour because I think a lot of breweries have kind of taken it over the edge where it's scraping the enamel off your teeth. But this is more of a traditional sour, tart wheat ale. And as is traditional in Berlin, we're serving it with either raspberry or woodruff syrup.
Okay.
And then to have some fun, we're rotating some other flavors in there as well. But nothing that the Germans haven't already done. So we don't feel like it's going against our brand at all.
What do you think is your most unique beer right now?
Unique.
I'm talking about the demographic of this area.
Mm-hmm.
What is unique, different that probably nobody else is making?
I will say, when I was at Alvarium, I was doing a style called Grodziska, which has since become a little bit more commonplace in the market. Definitely not, at the forefront, but it's there. Having a dedicated smoked line, which we have now at the brewery, I think is a little avant-garde. Only in that, we launched with a smoked beer, our Grodziska Peace Pipe, in a market where even having a smoked beer was already kind of putting you on shaky ground. Forget about when you open.
Right.
And then furthering that, saying that, hey, when this kicks, we're going to be putting on another smoked beer. Even though we're lager-centric, Weiss beer-centric, smoke is still a component of that. And it's something that we want to be several steps ahead. And while I don't think smoked beer is going to be this, earth-shattering next hype trend there is, I do think it has an important place in beer, and I do see things moving in that direction, and we want to be ahead of that.
Yeah, well, you seem to be ahead of everything. The funny thing is, it's like you're bringing back old school beer, but right now, because of the way that everything's trending, you're ahead of the game, even though it's the old school beers.
And that's what's weird. It's almost like I never feel safe in that.
No, you shouldn't. Not in this market. No.
I mean, that's half the fun for me is kind of looking at, okay, what's next? What can we do? How can we keep things fresh while also keeping true to our roots? And looking at that and going, okay, well, doing a couple of lagers, screw that. No, we're going to predicate our business based on lagers and Weiss beer when other breweries are offering, maybe like a handful of lagers or one or two or, hey, this is our one Pilsner as opposed to having a Czech and a German separately. Looking at that and then going, okay, well, it's already horrible. There's a lot of shakeout going in the industry already, but we're going to start seeing breweries moving towards lagers. And at that point, what's making us unique besides already having experience with lager? Okay, let's start looking at Rauchbier now and saying, hey, how can we start introducing this to the public? So we're what the public thinks of when they think of these smoked beers.
When you opened up, I was there, and I believe you had me try the smoke. I can remember it. Now, one thing about Chris is when you go there, he is very, very friendly, and he is very enthusiastic about what he's doing. So if you're asked to taste one, you're going to taste 5.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But I remember being there, and I remember tasting so many different beers. So it's kind of hard to remember exactly which one I had. But so you've been there for almost a year, open officially for almost a year.
Correct.
Have you worked with any other breweries? Have you, had any interactions with anybody else in the field? You've been in the industry for a while now, so you know a lot of the people. But have you had any people working with you on anything?
Yeah, so prior to opening up, when we were still in the planning stages, we became really good friends with Lupoletto down in Windsor Locks. They're doing incredible stuff, doing amazing traditional beer styles, amongst other things, but I really love what they're doing with like classic British ales and lagers and things of that nature. So we opened up with a collaboration with them only a few months into being open, and it was a Kentucky Common. Which, is a style you do not see often at all.
No.
And if you do, it's typically bastardized into this other thing where it's like partially sour when like the info wasn't really on what that style actually was. So now that we actually have a correct model of what that style should look like, maybe you're seeing like a couple here and there across America, but not really something common, ironically given the name. So we kind of took that on. James from Lupoletto and his wife Jen had gone to Bourbon County in Kentucky and kind of came back with this fresh idea. Hey, let's try to do Kentucky Common at some point. And I just jumped at the chance and said, hey, let's make it happen.
Fantastic. That is awesome. Also, you're in Hartford, state capital. Have you had any interactions with like the community? Have you done anything for the community?
That is something we're still working on right now. Right now, this first year has been more about trying to survive.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we already are starting to plan things. My wife, Kyle, who runs more of the tap room and the back end of everything, making sure we can actually stay in business, she is organizing a few different things. We're working with Gather 55 right across the street from us.
Okay.
It's a restaurant that basically brings in people who might be a little bit less privileged to find work, to actually work in the restaurant, and also act as a bit of a food pantry as well. And it's this kind of like amazing relationship where they're helping, they're getting paid for their time, they're getting food. People can go to the restaurant, eat. The food is absolutely incredible. So we're currently in talks with partnering with them, trying to make something happen with the community. We've done a toy drive for foster children that is based in Connecticut. So right now we're kind of like, we have our feelers out and we're going from there, but there's so many things. I mean, every day I pass by the Hartford Public Library and I really, really want to do something with them.
Nice.
So every day we're just being sparked on different ideas with the community.
Yeah, you're already up and running then. I mean, I didn't expect you to say that much, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a work in progress.
Yeah.
We're always getting ideas and we're always trying to, we're going into this Parkville neighborhood. It's an up and coming neighborhood and I don't want people to lose sight of the roots of the neighborhood and the community that's in that neighborhood. So I don't want to come in and then just start, changing the whole landscape. I want to do something good for the community. I want the people who are in that community to realize, hey, we're here trying to help. We are here and we want to be a part as well.
Awesome. That is awesome. I noticed you do can. Do you think, are you going to be going into distro at all?
Yeah, so right now we're doing incredibly light distro. It's just me and a van. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay. So right now, I mean, if we were to work with an outside distributor at the volume we're doing, there's no way we could really be profitable at this point. Neither could I supply enough beer given my current capacity.
Okay.
So right now we're looking at quality over quantity. That meaning that we, just from my past life in these other breweries, having run Alvarium and all of that, I know which accounts have been great. I know which accounts are not so great.
Okay.
And right now I'd rather partner with either restaurants, bars, or package stores that are more reaching out to us, saying, hey, we know what you're doing. We want to be a part of that. And then on my side, I know that, A, they have cold storage. They're going to treat the beer incredibly well. They can speak to the beer and what we're trying to do. And those are the people I'm trying to partner with, not the scattergun approach of just like sending my beer everywhere and seeing what sticks.
Right. But at the same time, you are getting your beer out there and you're getting your name out there. Someone at a restaurant orders one of your beers and says, wow, that's so different, so incredible. Now, hopefully that draws them into the brewery.
Exactly. I mean, we kind of view that as just advertisement.
Right.
Yeah, it's slightly profitable, not nearly as profitable as having the beer being drank in the tap room.
Absolutely.
But, I mean, the marketing itself is more than worth it.
Right. 5 years from now, what do you think you can be doing?
5 years, I feel like the typical answer is expansion, and I think for us it's the exact opposite. It is just taking up the space that we have and fully utilizing it to its full potential. We've talked about adding food in the future, but a very, very limited menu, more just like quick bites, to keep people going while they're drinking, doing some fun stuff there, opening up a bar in the back area, to try to bring in new people, things along that nature, along with some other ideas that we kind of have floating around in the back of our head. But ideally, it's going to be not starting inside and then working our way out. It's starting inside and then keeping it inside and making that core as solid and as strong as possible.
Yeah, see, I'm watching years of experience come out of your mouth right now, because there's a lot of places that just want to grow, and
Yeah.
you are utilizing that space to the best of its ability, and that's perfect. You're going to be just creating stability for yourself.
Exactly. And I think that's like the main takeaway is one of the main things I noticed was the most successful, regardless of it being slow, is organic growth. And the slower and more carefully and well thought out your planning for growing is, without a shadow of a doubt, it's going to pay dividends.
Right. And your beer speaks for itself.
Oh, thank you.
And speaking of beer, you brought some, didn't you?
I did.
Okay, well, we'll get to that in just a moment, right after this.
Almost Famous Brewing Company in East Granby, Connecticut. We're at 17 Cripes Road, right next to Bradley International Airport. Enjoy great beers, live bands, and endless fun. We have rooms available to rent for your next party or event. Come to Almost Famous Brewing Company, where you can be almost famous too. Visit us at almostfamousbrewing.com.
So what did you bring for us, Chris?
So today I brought kind of an eclectic selection of a few different beers that we're doing. So to start off with, I brought Juno, which is our alt beer. So that we won a GIBCC gold medal this year in the brown beer category for that one.
Okay.
I'm very, very proud of that beer. I'm proud of every beer we do.
Yeah.
But especially that one.
Okay. And this has a 5% ABV.
Yep.
And what goes into this beer?
So that I try to keep all the beers simple. I think recipe building is very important. I think the process is the most important. So with that one, off the top of my head, I want to say we have a blend of, I believe it was some Vienna and Munich malts, Pilsner malt, some, if I'm not mistaken, some brown malt, and then a dash of roasted malt.
Wow.
And one of the main things with that, at the time, I was going to use some crystal malt, which can be typical to use in all beers.
Mm-hmm.
You find a lot of American breweries adding some crystal malt, and what that does is it lends a little bit of sweetness.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time when I was building the recipe, I realized, oh man, I don't have any. I'm going to have to grab some. And then I did a little bit more research and poking around, and I found out, actually, the beers overseas in Germany, Dusseldorf specifically, don't tend to be like very sweet or malty. They tend to be more dry, bitter. If I can give it a word, and it might not make sense, but almost crunchy as opposed to crispy.
Right.
It's almost like fall leaves.
Wow.
In terms of its dryness.
Okay.
So then when we ended up going to Dusseldorf just last month, we had a few different alt beers, and we noticed they were having the same character of dry, firm bitterness, but also that nice deep maltiness, that nutty, toasty character that I think we emulated pretty well with Juno.
Cool. And what's next on the block here?
So then we have the Weizenbock, that's Koenig's beer, which translates to King's beer. So that is a beer I was very excited to do. We were going to have a winter seasonal, and I think a lot of people, including myself, were thinking, oh, you got to do a dark bock, you got to do a doppelbock, you got to do a Baltic porter, and those are all awesome. At the same time, I think that, people are doing that. So considering we're a Weiss beer and lager brewery first, we said, all right, let's try to do something wheat beer oriented. So, people fall in love with Schneiderweiss, Aventinas, and Weihenstephan Vitas, which are great Weizenbocks. I've been enamored with them myself, and so I wanted to do a version of that. So it's our highest ABV beer we have, at a skull-splitting 7.5%, which is a lot where most beers start at other breweries.
Right.
And you're getting a dash of roast, but more prominently, we open fermented it, so you're getting more expressive banana and clove, and also these, what I think is the most beautiful part about the beer, these deep notes of plum, raisin, figs, dates, and it all just kind of blends together. You get a little bit of a sweet up front, followed by a very dry finish.
Cool. All right. And last but not least,
that is Grindhouse, our Munich Dunkles lager. So that, again, kept it incredibly simple. I used Munich malt and a dash of roasted barley, and that was it. I try to let the malt speak for itself.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that, oh man, you have to be building these crazy recipes. Like, what's the secret? Honestly, it's sourcing the best malt and hops you possibly can. And then after that, it's all your process. You can't rush these beers.
Mm-hmm.
With the lagers that we do, we're giving them at least a month and a half lagering time.
Mm-hmm.
That's not total fermentation plus lagering time. That is strictly just lagering time. So you end up with these beers that are supremely smooth, very crisp, if they're a bit on the lighter side. But yeah, with this beer in particular, my wife was drinking it, and she, I'm trying to decipher the notes. I'm getting a lot of like richness and, toasty malt.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, Tootsie Roll. Well, Tootsie Roll. She goes, yeah, it has this Tootsie Roll kind of like vaguely chocolate, like cold brew coffee finish to it. And she nailed it. I'm embarrassed to admit she has a better palate than I do.
Oh, wow. Okay. So let's taste. Is that cool?
Yeah, I think I spoke enough on these beers.
Oh, come on. All right, well, I'm going to crack one open, and we have the Dead Language mug here. Some of the symbols. Are you creating these letters and symbols?
Yeah, so with our graphic designer, the well-known John Contino, he's done so many amazing projects for Miller, Harley-Davidson, the New York Giants. He did their centennial uniforms.
Wow.
He has a pedigree, and I was lucky enough that I lived 5 minutes from him when I was in kindergarten, so I've known him all this time. He did Alvarium's initial logo and first 6 label designs, and then when I was opening up Dead Language, I immediately grabbed him and we worked on this. So it's an interesting story with the symbols. So, you look at the glass itself, you have DLBP spelled out, Dead Language Beer Project.
Okay.
And then if you look at the cans themselves, there's what appears to be a rune on the front of the can. Myself and my friend John, big Futurama fans, and if you are familiar with that, you'll know that there's like an alien language in the show that over the course of years, people have began to decipher that language and then went back to the original episodes and were actually able to figure out what these mean. So we did something very similar in that we developed a language of about 30, 35, maybe even 40 different beer descriptors. So every beer descriptor, whether that's lemon, toasty, bready, doughy, what have you, has a little character attached to it.
I can see that on the side of the can here.
Yeah, and then if you look on the side of the can and you put those descriptors together, you now end up with the rune that's on the front of the can.
Oh, cool. That's actually really clever.
Yeah, so it's a fun little thing. We try not to beat people over the head about it. We want people to kind of discover it on themselves, but half the time we just get so excited we end up just telling people.
Well, I mean, if you've been wondering about it, now you know. You know how to decipher it. It comes with a decoder ring, maybe? All right, I'm going to crack this one open. All right, so as I'm pouring it, tell me, what am I picking up here?
So you're going to get, we're using Kolsch yeast with that. Some people are adamant that you should be using specific alt beer yeast. To me, they're kind of one and the same, very nuanced in the difference.
Wow.
But yeah, you're going to be getting, it's bright as a bell. You're looking at, just this like nice toasty, nutty, flavor and aroma profile. You're going to get an upfront bitterness that's going to fade off, but it ends up being, again, this is where I hesitate to use the word crispy. I kind of like to use the word crunchy as a differentiator, but it finishes off with that bitter kind of cleansing finish on it, which kind of ties the whole beer together and invites that next sip.
All right. Well, cheers. Yeah, there's nobody making beer like this out here. Not really. I mean, this is incredible. I'm going to end up downing this thing.
That's one of the good things is that all the beer we're brewing is, I'd say, in the realm of less than 5.5%. So I always tell people say, oh, thank God, you have beer that isn't like knocking me on my ass. And I tell them I love beer way too much than to make it such high alcohol that I can't have more than 2 to 3.
Right.
So, our Mug Club members, they have full 1 liter mugs and they're drinking several liters and they are good to go after. They're totally fine. knock on wood, I haven't seen anybody even close to inebriated or slurring or anything like that. You know, again, we're also very on top of, you know, what people are drinking and how they're getting. But yeah, we just want people to enjoy the beer, be there for the social aspect. You're getting a nice little buzz, but never enough to, you know, knock you on your ass, so to speak.
Right. You know, I do like the high ABVs because I do like that taste of alcohol.
Mhm.
I'm a bourbon man also.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't care about this. I don't care about that flavor in these. There's so much flavor in your beers that I don't miss that.
Oh, that's nice.
That's beautiful. All right, so next we're going to be...
That's Königsbier or Weizenbock. So it's a bigger beer. Again, 7.5%. So you're not going to get booziness, but you are going to get some of that body associated with that.
Okay.
There's just nothing you can do about that part. And yeah, you're going to have something that's very warming. You're going to get notes of banana, clove. There's a dash of vanilla and pineapple from the Weinstefan yeast we use. And then most prominent, you're going to get those notes of plum, raisin, dark fruit.
Cool. All right, well, let's crack this one open. Nice. And... wow, that's deep. That smells amazing.
So we do enjoy high ABV beers, you know, where they're appropriate stylistically. Mm-hmm. And this one definitely drinks like a nice, complex beer, while also being something you don't have to think too much about if you don't want to.
Mm-hmm. Right. I'm not filling this mug up here. It's still kind of early in the day here, but cheers again. Wow. Yeah, the banana. That's the first thing that hit me. Wow.
So it's kind of like if you took a, like the name implies, Weizenbock. It's like if you took a standard Weiss beer and you crossed it with a Doppelbock, kind of like smashing them together.
Wow. That's delicious. I'm not reviewing these beers, okay? I'm just experiencing them, and what an experience. Holy moly, that's delicious.
Thank you.
No, thank you. That's fantastic. Okay, well, we have one more, but I ran out of mugs. That's okay. I'll pull out what we usually use when we're all sharing. Oh, that was loud. When we're all sharing our beers here, we pull out these little ones.
Nice.
And last but not least, we have...
So that is Grindhouse or Dunkelslager.
Oh my god, really? Hang on, let me crack this open. Oh, I got it all over the mic.
The money shot.
Oh my god. Yeah, okay. And what am I picking up for the aroma?
So it's going to be incredibly smooth, rich, as we describe on the can, but still supremely drinkable. Again, you're going to get notes of like toastiness, nuttiness, this rich, deep maltiness, and yeah, that little bit of Tootsie Roll cold brew coffee finish.
Tootsie Roll. Well, thank you, Kyle, for that one, huh? Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay. Oh. Holy moly. It's hard to get that head past this mustache, but wow. Oh, Chris, this is amazing.
Nice.
I love it. All three of them are just packed with flavor. That is so amazing.
Again, you just got to trust the process.
Yeah.
It's the ingredients and it's the procedure. It's time.
That's beautiful. Wow. So, real quick before we sign off here, I want to make sure people know how to see you. Your website is deadlanguage.beer. Not .com.
So we also have, I believe, deadlanguagebeer.com as well.
Okay.
We were kind of buying a bunch of different domains just to make sure we were secure.
Good. Yeah, that's smart. But .beer, that's the first time I've seen .beer.
Yeah, it's something that was like, coming to the forefront a little while ago. I'm not sure how much steam it eventually picked up, but we have it just in case.
I love that. And of course, you can find them on Instagram at deadlanguage.beer. And Facebook is just, wait a minute,
is also deadlanguage.beer.
Correct.
And then you have a TikTok also, which is Dead Language Beer, but no dot. That's where you can find them. And let's talk about, you are in Hartford. You're in the corner of Park Street and Bartholomew Avenue at 1429 Park Street.
Correct. We say the easiest way, GPS kind of is a little bit wonky. If you put in 8 Bartholomew Avenue, Hartford, it'll lead you right to our driveway, and you can just go right through that door.
Okay. So with this building, you're going to see like a front entrance, there's stairs and things like that. If you happen to go there, don't go for the stairs. Go around the side of the building, and that's where you're going to find their main entrance, basically, on the side of the building. Parking is, there's like a parking lot across the street.
Yeah, directly across the street, there's plenty of parking.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right. Well, this has been a treat, Chris. Thank you
pleasure is all mine.
So much. Yeah, for coming out and bringing these delicious beers and imparting on us your knowledge. I mean, like I said, when you're speaking, I can see the years of experience of brewing. And that's such a comfort to have someone such as yourself leading the pack on this trend, if you will, for lack of a better word, of bringing old school beers back. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I'm Bud, signing off.